we're going to learn how to find the area of a circle. So the area of the circle, I mean by the little space inside there, inside of this shape, okay, with any given radius of r. Okay, so knowing that, we have a little formula that we can use, okay, so it's a very handy one, which is area equals pi r squared, okay, so the r being the little radius inside of the circle. So this is a very common formula, and you'll probably see this for the rest of your life. So make sure we do not forget this formula. Okay, we're going to try and apply that and answer some area questions. So looking at the first one here, we're going to find just simply the area of this circle with radius 3 centimeters. Okay, so looking at part A, we have to find it in terms of pi. So we know that the area of a circle is pi r squared, and the radius being 3, then we can write it as the area being pi multiplied by 3 squared. Okay? Or a bit more simply, we can write 9 pi centimeters squared. Okay? Now looking at part B, we're going to find the area of the same circle, but corrected 2 decimal places. Okay, so we found in part A that the area is 9 pi. So what I'm going to do is enter that straight into my calculator. So 9 shift pi, okay, press my equal sign, I get 9 pi again, but I want it in decimal form. So let's try and press that little conversion button, and that's my answer in decimal places. So corrected 2 decimal places, my answer is 28.27 centimeters squared. So that was a nice easy question, just to warm up on how to find a given circle, its area. Now moving on to question 2, we're going to find the area of the circle again, but they gave us a diameter of 8. Okay, but we do know that in my area formula is pi r squared, it uses radius. So if my diameter is 8, then my radius is obviously just going to be 4. So looking at part A, we're going to try and find that area in terms of pi. So pi r squared, radius being 4, then my area is pi multiplied by 4 squared. Okay, if we simplify that, it will be 16 pi centimeters squared. So in part B, we're going to try and find it, correct to 2 decimal places, meaning my area of 16 pi, I'm going to put that straight into my calculator. So 16 shift pi, okay, equal sign. So I get 16 pi again, but in decimal form, I want to press my conversion button, and there it is. So corrected 2 decimal places, my answer should be 50.27 centimeters squared. So this question was a nice one because it focused on the fact that area formula uses radius instead of diameter. Now looking at the third question here, we have to find the radius of the circle if its area is 25 pi centimeters squared. So in this question, they gave us what the area is, and we're going to try and work backwards to find what the original radius of that circle was. So we're going to take the same approach. Okay, we're still going to be using the fact that area equals pi r squared. Okay, but in this case, pi r squared equals 25 pi. Okay, so that's what we're going to start off with. Now we can see that there's a pi there and there's a pi there. So what I can do is get rid of both pi's. So we're going to divide both sides by pi. Okay, which leaves us with r squared equals 25. Then r should be simply 5 centimeters. Okay, so in this question, again, they gave us the area and we worked backwards to find what that radius was. Now looking at question 4, it says find the diameter of the circle if its area is 64 pi centimeters squared. So it's asking us for the diameter. Now we know that when we work with area of circles, we don't really use diameter, we use the radius. So first of all, let's just find the radius. And at the end, let's just don't forget to multiply by 2 to find the diameter. So that's our plan. So we're going to start off by saying that the area of pi r squared they gave us is 64 pi. So similar to last question, we're going to divide both sides by pi, which leaves us with r squared equals 64. Then simply r should be 8. Okay, so 8 centimeters. Now is that the answer? No, we found the radius, but they want to ask to find the diameter. Okay. Well, we know diameter is 2 multiplied by r, so 2 of them. Okay, and we know r is 4. Oh, sorry, we know r is 8, so 2 multiplied by 8 then my diameter of this circle is 16 centimeters. Okay, so I guess it's very important for us to read the question. Make sure we're answering what they're looking for. Okay, now moving on to question number 5. Let's read it. It says, find the radius of the circle if its area is 23 centimeters squared, correcting to 1 decimal place. Okay, so we're going to try and find the radius, and they gave us the area of the circle. So we're going to start off again. Pi r squared, which is my area, is 23 centimeters squared. Okay, so what do we want? Well, we want to find what the radius is. So we want to find what r is. We're going to try and get everything away from r as much as possible in this equation. So how do we do that? First of all, I'm going to divide this pi to the other side. Okay, we're going to get 23 divided by pi. Okay, before you even calculate this, we have r squared, but we want r. Then what I'm going to do is square root both sides. So our radius is square root of 23 divided by pi. Okay, now we want our answer correct to 1 decimal place. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put this little nasty thing in right into my calculator. So first of all, the first thing to do is I need to press my square root button, okay, which is this one. So square root, and inside there we're going to press 23, okay, and we have divided by pi, which is shift pi. Okay, so that's what it is, and let's press equal sign. Okay, so that's what we get. So my answer correct to 1 decimal place is, my radius is 2.7 centimeters. Okay, so that was a nice question as well. Okay, so one thing that we can't remember to take away from this is the area formula, which is pi r squared.